Here's something most men completely miss. When a woman is attracted to you, her body literally betrays her intentions before she even realizes it herself. And the fascinating part? She's doing it right now, in front of you, but you're probably looking at all the wrong places. There are 4 specific body parts that become her unconscious broadcasting system when she's interested, and what you're about to learn has been confirmed by behavioral psychologists studying human attraction for over 3 decades. Hey, it's your girl back with another episode, and today we're talking about something that's going to change how you read signals forever. You know what's wild? A study from UCLA found that up to 93% of communication effectiveness is determined by nonverbal cues. That means words, they're basically just noise compared to what the body is screaming. And as a woman myself, I'm about to pull back the curtain on something we don't even consciously control. This isn't some pickup artist nonsense or outdated dating advice. This is pure behavioral science mixed with the reality of female psychology that I witness every single day. So here's what's happening in this video. I'm going to walk you through 4 specific body parts that women unconsciously display, angle, or position differently when they're genuinely interested in someone. And by the end, you'll never miss a signal again. But here's the catch. Misreading even one of these can make you completely misinterpret her interest level. So stick with me through all 4, because the last one is probably the most powerful and the most overlooked. Let's start with something that sounds simple, but is actually incredibly revealing. Her neck. Now, this might sound strange at first, but stay with me because the science behind this is actually mind-blowing. When a woman is attracted to someone, she unconsciously exposes her neck more frequently. And I'm not talking about some dramatic vampire movie scene. I'm talking about subtle movements that happen naturally. Here's what this looks like in real life. She'll tilt her head to the side during conversation. She'll brush her hair back behind her ear, even when it doesn't need to be moved. She might adjust her necklace or touch her collarbone area. Sometimes she'll do this thing where she turns her head slightly and looks at you from an angle that naturally exposes more of her neck. Let me explain how this works from a psychological standpoint. The neck is considered one of the most vulnerable parts of the human body. In evolutionary terms, exposing your neck to someone signals trust and lack of threat perception. When our ancestors were running around trying not to get eaten by predators, you definitely didn't show your neck to anything you didn't trust completely. Fast forward to modern dating, and this instinct is still hardwired into us. A study published in the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior found that women increase neck exposure by an average of 40% when interacting with someone they find attractive compared to neutral interactions. 40%. That's not a small difference. But here's where it gets really interesting from my perspective as a woman. We don't even realize we're doing it. I've caught myself doing this exact thing when talking to someone I'm attracted to, and it's completely unconscious. It's like my body has its own agenda that my brain isn't even controlling. There's also another layer to this: perfume and scent. Women often apply perfume to pulse points, including the neck. When she's interested, she might unconsciously position her neck in a way that brings attention to that area. It's a subtle invitation for you to notice her scent, which is another primitive attraction mechanism. Now, here's what this doesn't mean. If she's not constantly exposing her neck, it doesn't automatically mean she's not interested. Context matters, which is why you need to pay attention to all 4 of these body parts, not just one. But if you notice her repeatedly creating opportunities to show her neck during your conversation, that's a green light worth noting. This was shocking when I first learned about it, but it makes total sense when you think about it. The neck is intimate, vulnerable, and associated with trust. When she's showing it to you freely, she's basically saying without words, "I feel safe with you, and I want you to notice me." Next up, and this one surprises most people, her feet. Yes, you read that right. Her feet are actually one of the most honest indicators of her interest, and here's why. While we can control our facial expressions and even train ourselves to manage our hand gestures, our feet are basically operating on autopilot. They're the furthest point from our brain, and we pay the least conscious attention to them. So what exactly should you be looking for? The direction her feet are pointing. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, her feet will point directly toward you, even if the rest of her body is angled differently. She could be talking to someone else in a group setting, but if her feet are aimed at you, that's where her real interest lies. Research from body language experts, including the work of former FBI agent Joe Navarro, confirms that foot direction is one of the most reliable indicators of genuine interest. In his book, What Every Body is Saying, Navarro explains that the feet are the most honest part of the body because they're connected to the limbic system, the part of our brain that controls fight or flight responses. Let me paint you a real scenario. You're at a social gathering, maybe a party or a networking event. You're talking to a woman and she seems engaged. But here's the test. Look down at her feet. Are they pointed at you or are they angled toward the door, toward other people, or positioned like she's ready to walk away? If they're pointed at you, even while her upper body might be doing something else, her subconscious is telling you she wants to stay in your presence. There's more to the foot story, though. Pay attention to what she does with her shoes if she's wearing heels or slip-on shoes. When a woman is comfortable and attracted to someone, she might slip her foot partially out of her shoe and dangle it. This is called shoe dangling, and it's actually a sign of relaxation and openness. This is how it works psychologically. Removing or loosening footwear is associated with being at home, being comfortable, and letting your guard down. When she does this around you, it's a subconscious signal that she feels comfortable enough to relax. It's the physical equivalent of saying, "I'm not in a hurry to leave. I'm settling in here with you." Another foot behavior to watch for: foot tapping or bouncing when she's around you. Now, this could mean nervousness, but in the context of attraction, it's often excess energy. When we're attracted to someone, our body produces adrenaline and dopamine. That chemical cocktail creates extra energy that has to go somewhere, and often it goes to the feet. From my own experience, I can tell you this is absolutely true. When I'm on a date with someone I'm genuinely into, I've noticed my feet do this little bounce or tap without me even thinking about it. It's like my body is literally buzzing with excitement, and my feet are the release valve. Here's the key distinction. If her feet are pointed away from you, crossed tightly at the ankles, or she's positioned like she's ready to bolt, those are signs she's not feeling it. But if those feet are aimed at you like a compass pointing north, you've got her attention in a way that goes beyond polite conversation. Moving up from the feet, let's talk about her hands. This is where things get really nuanced and really interesting. When a woman likes you, her hands become incredibly active, but in very specific ways. Now, some people might think fidgeting always means nervousness or discomfort, but in the context of attraction, hand movement tells a completely different story. First thing to watch for: she touches her own body more frequently. I'm talking about touching her hair, her face, her neck, connecting back to point one, her arms, her jewelry. This is called self-soothing behavior, but it's also what's known as preening. When we're attracted to someone, we unconsciously try to make ourselves look better, and our hands are the tools we use to do it. A study from the University of Manchester found that women touch their hair an average of 18 times per hour during regular conversation, but that number jumps to 32 times per hour when talking to someone they find attractive. That's nearly double, and we're not even aware we're doing it. Here's what's happening from a psychological perspective. Touching our own bodies during interactions serves multiple purposes. First, it draws attention to those body parts. If she's running her fingers through her hair, your eyes naturally follow that movement. Second, it's a self-comfort mechanism during the slightly stressful situation of interacting with someone we're attracted to. Third, it creates movement, and humans are naturally drawn to movement. It's another evolutionary holdover. But there's another hand signal that's even more telling: when she touches you. This is huge. When a woman finds reasons to make physical contact, touching your arm when she laughs, brushing your shoulder, playfully pushing you, fixing your collar, or picking lint off your shirt, these are all signs of attraction. Women are generally more cautious about invading personal space, so when she's creating opportunities for physical contact, it's significant. Let me explain how this works in practice. If you say something funny and she laughs while touching your arm, that's not accidental. That's her body creating a connection. If she finds excuses to touch you, oh, you have something on your shirt, or let me see your watch, or your hands are so much bigger than mine compare, she's literally looking for reasons to break the touch barrier. Research in haptics, the study of touch, shows that appropriate touch increases liking and connection between people. When she initiates touch, she's subconsciously trying to build that bond. It's a test, too. She's gauging your reaction and seeing if you're comfortable with her in your personal space. Now, here's something from my female perspective that most guys don't realize. Initiating touch is actually kind of nerve-wracking for us. Despite what you might think, making that first physical contact takes courage. So when she does it, she's putting herself out there. That's not something we do for people we're not interested in. Another hand signal, open palms. When people are being genuine and open, they tend to show their palms more. If she's talking to you with open palm gestures rather than closed fists or hidden hands, it suggests she's being authentic and open with you. Conversely, if her hands are crossed, hidden, or she's gripping something tightly, like her phone or purse, she might be feeling guarded. There's also the hand sandwich to watch for. If she places both her hands around yours during a handshake or when you're already holding hands, that's a significant sign. It's called a hand sandwich in body language circles, and it signals warmth, affection, and a desire for closer connection. One more thing about hands that's absolutely fascinating. When a woman is attracted to you, she'll often mirror your hand movements. If you pick up your drink, she'll pick up hers. If you lean forward and rest your chin on your hand, she might do something similar. This mirroring is a subconscious way of building rapport and connection. This is how powerful the hand signals are. They're both conscious and unconscious tools of connection. Sometimes she knows she's touching her hair to look better for you. Sometimes she has no idea her hands are moving at all. But either way, they're telling you the story of her interest level. Finally, we're getting to the big one. And honestly, this might be the most powerful indicator of all. Her eyes. There's a reason people say eyes are windows to the soul. When it comes to attraction, the eyes don't lie, and there are specific eye behaviors that are dead giveaways of interest. Let's start with the most obvious one, extended eye contact. When a woman holds your gaze longer than socially necessary, that's a clear signal. Research shows that typical eye contact between strangers lasts about 3 seconds. Between acquaintances, maybe 4 to 5 seconds. But when there's attraction, that eye contact stretches to 7, 8, even 10 seconds or more. Here's what makes this so powerful. Maintaining eye contact requires active choice. You have to consciously decide not to look away. When she's holding your gaze, she's making the decision that looking at you is more interesting than looking at anything else in her environment. That's significant. But it gets even more interesting when you look at what's happening biologically. When we look at someone we're attracted to, our pupils dilate. This is an involuntary response controlled by the autonomic nervous system. A study published in Psychological Science found that pupil dilation is directly correlated with interest and arousal. When she's looking at you and her pupils are larger than normal, her body is literally responding to your presence. Now, you might be thinking, how am I supposed to notice pupil dilation? Fair question. You probably won't catch it consciously, but here's the thing. Our brains are incredibly good at picking up these subtle cues even when we don't consciously register them. That feeling you get that someone is looking at you differently? Part of that might be your subconscious picking up on pupil dilation. Let me break down the eye contact patterns that signal interest. First, there's the initial lock. She catches your eye from across the room and holds it for a beat longer than necessary. Then there's the look away, look back. She'll look at you, look away, and then look back to see if you're still looking at her. This is a classic interest signal. Then there's the triangle gaze. This is when her eyes move from one of your eyes to the other and then down to your mouth, creating a triangle pattern. This is huge. When someone looks at your mouth during conversation, it's often a subconscious signal of attraction and even kiss anticipation. Studies in attraction psychology have documented this pattern repeatedly. From my own perspective as a woman, I can tell you exactly what's happening when we do this. We're imagining. When I look at someone's mouth during conversation, part of my brain is wondering what it would be like to kiss them. It's not always a conscious thought, but the eyes go where the interest is. There's also something called eye catching. This is when she consistently tries to make eye contact with you in group settings. If you're in a group conversation and she keeps looking at you specifically when she talks, or she seeks out your reaction to things being said, she's prioritizing your attention over everyone else's. Another eye behavior that's a dead giveaway, the soft gaze. This is different from intense eye contact. It's when her eyes get this slightly unfocused, soft quality when she looks at you. Her eyelids might lower slightly, and her whole expression becomes softer. This is sometimes called bedroom eyes, and it's a sign of attraction and affection. Here's something that absolutely confirms interest: if she maintains eye contact while smiling. The combination of a genuine smile, which reaches the eyes, creating crow's feet, and sustained eye contact is one of the most reliable indicators of attraction. It's warm, it's open, and it's inviting. Now let's talk about what happens when she's not interested, because contrast is important. If she's constantly looking around the room, checking her phone, or her eyes glaze over when you talk, those are signs she's not engaged. If she avoids eye contact altogether, or her eye contact is brief and perfunctory, she's not feeling it. But when those eyes are locked on you, when they light up when you enter the room, when they track your movements, when they soften when they meet yours, that's when you know you've got her attention in a meaningful way. Research from Harvard University found that mutual gaze, when two people make eye contact, triggers the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. So when she's looking into your eyes, her body is literally creating chemicals that bond her to you. It's not just psychological, it's physiological. This is how powerful eye contact is. It can create connection, signal interest, and even build emotional intimacy without a single word being spoken. When she's using her eyes to communicate with you, she's speaking the oldest language humans have. So now you have all four: her neck, her feet, her hands, and her eyes. Each one is a piece of the puzzle, and when you see multiple signals happening together, you can be pretty confident about her interest level. But here's what I want you to understand. These signals aren't a checklist where she needs to hit all four for it to count. Human behavior is nuanced. She might be showing 3 out of 4. She might be showing 1 really strongly. The point is to develop your awareness so you're not completely missing the signs. What's fascinating about all of this is that most of these behaviors are unconscious. As women, we're not sitting there thinking, let me expose my neck to show interest. Our bodies are just responding to attraction in ways that are hardwired into our biology and psychology. A comprehensive study on nonverbal courtship behavior, published in the Journal of Sex Research, tracked these exact signals and found that women who displayed 4 or more nonverbal courtship cues were significantly more likely to be approached and were more successful in attracting interest from their desired partners. This stuff works both ways. Your awareness of it helps you read signals, and her unconscious use of it helps her communicate interest. Here's the truth that nobody talks about. Most women actually want you to pick up on these signals. We're putting them out there hoping you'll notice. There's this frustrating dynamic where we're sending all these signs and wondering why guys aren't getting it. Well, now you're getting it. But I also want to give you a reality check. Context matters enormously. If she's at work, she might suppress some of these signals even if she's interested because of professionalism. If she's in a relationship, these signals might appear even though they can't be acted upon. If she's in a social situation where she feels watched or judged, she might hold back. So use this information wisely. Don't become that person who overanalyzes every tiny movement and reads attraction into everything. These signals are most reliable when you see patterns over time and across different contexts. This is what I want you to take away from this video. Women's bodies are constantly communicating interest through subtle, unconscious signals. Her neck, her feet, her hands, and her eyes are all broadcasting whether she's attracted to you, and now you have the decoder ring. The neck shows vulnerability and trust. The feet show genuine interest direction that she can't fake. The hands create connection through touch and movement. And the eyes, well, the eyes tell the whole story if you're paying attention. Understanding these signals doesn't just help you know if someone likes you. It helps you become more attuned to human behavior in general. It makes you more socially aware, more emotionally intelligent, and frankly, more attractive, because perceptive people are attractive people. Now, here's something that's going to take this even further. Knowing these body language signals is powerful, but do you know the single biggest behavioral sign that a woman has not just casual interest, but has genuinely chosen you as someone significant in her life? I'm talking about the difference between she likes you and she's all in. That's exactly what I break down in the video appearing on your screen right now. When a woman truly chooses you, she always shows this sign. This isn't about initial attraction signals. This is about the next level. This is about understanding the shift that happens when a woman decides you're not just someone she's interested in, but someone she wants in her life in a real way. If you found value in understanding these 4 body language signals, you absolutely need to watch what happens next. Because recognizing attraction is one thing, but understanding when that attraction has evolved into genuine choice and commitment, that's the information that changes everything. Click on that video right now, and I'll see you there in just a second. Trust me, what you're about to learn is the missing piece to this entire puzzle.